Welcome back, everybody, to a Sha'ir's poem. I am your narrator, Blackthorn. We last left our rogues holing up for an evening in a one-room flophouse near to the docks. Uh, Shed Carew, would you describe your lodging and about how long you've been here? And of course, yourself and possibly some of the other vagrants in this flophouse.
Well, this the room that we are in is by no means the greatest accommodations in this town, but the roof at the moment does not leak. The uh, uh, the floor is relatively free of debris, and the vermin are manageable. And there's enough space for myself and my new, my potential new um, either hireling or companion, depending on how he turns out to be, to lay down and actually sleep without having to actually touch each other. Um,
You don't have to
and
touch each other?
in
Oh,
one
kings.
corner, oh yes, in one corner is a small hearth. Um,
Describe the
has
hearth.
the hearth is just a little uh kind of a brick pedestal that has brick line on the back so that the wall doesn't catch on fire.
Okay.
And then above there's an actual hole in the roof. And of course, the reason that the roof doesn't leak right now is because it's not raining. Um, because it definitely rains through that hole when it happens. The top is basically just sort of a. It may at one time have had a lip to hold the coals in, but over time it has sort of worn down with the incessant rain and use of the fire and such. The top is completely blackened, although sitting on it is a small earthenware pot at the moment, um, with a small fire underneath to boil a bit of water for some um, for a bit of fish stew that Sheds will be putting together. Shed himself, his clothing is well, it is most distinctly not designed for the current climate. It is now that he has his billowing overcloak off. Underneath, he wears robes of linen. A couple of layers of them actually, almost maybe as if he's wearing everything he owns. Though he is wearing it well. He does have several bangles hanging from his wrists of baser metals. A bit of you know, he does have some copper there, some tin, a few possibly of shell. Um, and around his neck, he has several necklaces with small different um, looks like bits of glass, possibly some the claw of a predatory animal on one, a few bones. Above that necklace is a full beard, though not long. It is well trimmed back and up to his obviously Yathite face. He does keep his head covered. It seems like at all times, though you can sort of catch glimpses of longer hair pulled back into a braid at the back. And he favors lighter colored clothes, obviously, as similar to the image we have here. As he busies himself over this small pot. So
Yarrow, would you describe your character for us?
Yarrow, he doesn't look like he would like to look, given his previous hardships. He has cleaned himself up the best he could, which, albeit, is probably not as well as it should be, given the circumstances and everything. But Shed has done the best he could. Yarrow is a half-breed bastard whose skin seems to smolder depending on how the light hits it. And right now he is basically trying to hang on to the meager things he has, having just escaped from the cannibals, having to see a great wizard die feet beside him. And he has seen magical feats that, as far as he knows, no one else has ever seen before in their life. He has this strange scroll that currently has a black lotus folded up in it that for some unbeknownst reason to him right now, he is drawn to hold on to and complete whatever this Gaius is. Besides that, he is dressed in essentially what would be a loincloth and has a couple of spears next to the spot where he is laying down. Yarrow at the moment, he's not happy. I mean, who could be in this type of area? But he is at least happy that he is out of the frying pan, so to speak. He met Shed while wandering the alleys of Soltage here and is hoping that this isn't just a conspiracy or trap to either throw him back into slavery or somehow give him back to the cannibals. So at the moment, he is wary of Shed, but he is at least willing to hear him out. His hair is long and straggly at the moment, going down just below his shoulders. And what he has for facial hair is likewise very unkempt. And he would very much like to be able to find something to trim that back, as he is used to being almost clean shaven, as well as his hair kept very close to his head. None of this long, flowy nonsense. It gets in the way.
Excellent. I will say between last session and this session, the night passed and the cockerel has already likely crowed. So you guys can actually go about your day as you wish.
Okay. Well, Shed, once he has decided that the this stew is done, he'll spoon some of it out into a little small earthenware bowl. They seem to be of a set, though the edges are a bit chipped. And he'll turn it to Yarrow, and he'll look down and he'll hand you the bowl. And then he'll sit down with the pot, tentatively moving it with his fingertips and setting it on the ground and using his spoon to eat out of it. Unfortunately, all you're left with is possibly to drink it. And he says, "So, tell me, Yarrow, how did you come to be in such a sorry state? I know you mentioned the cannibals, but I mean, you were coming here you were on a sailing ship, yes? Where were you going?"
Yarrow, he'll take this bowl and, yeah, not seeing any utensils on hand, he will essentially drink it until enough of the broth is gone and he can kind of pick the food out. He won't be ravenous in his eating, even though part of him says he should be. But it's very much the eating habits of a man who has not eaten very well for days. But after he gets a little bit in his stomach and he lets that settle, he'll think for a second. I was told that we were coming to Soltage to get supplies, because then we wanted to go to Raw. The captain had something in his head of becoming a merchantman in the next, cycle or two. Before that, though, we were actually part of a retinue that was, for lack of better terminology, doing protective services to any higher merchant, royalty, anyone of importance that needed protecting on the seas. And what happened is, after the last job, unfortunately, was a little too close for comfort for the captain, he had decided to shift duties and perspectives, and that's why he wanted to do the merchant thing instead. So we came to Soltage because we had heard you can get almost anything you want to here for a price. And then that's when we got waylaid, and here I stand before you now.
Well, you may be in luck then, my friend, because you have fallen upon hard luck, but that hard luck has led you to my door. I Shedkeru, am a I am a relocator of merchandise. There comes a time when someone may wish to get one of those wonderful things that you mentioned into Soltage or out of it, but don't quite have the money to pay the dockmaster. Or I don't know if you know this or not, but the dockmaster has he's very proud of his docks. He's also very corpulent of his belly, which he keeps that way by charging merchants an exorbitant amount just to dock here. And they tend to pay me a portion of that. Well, the merchants that don't want to pay the dockmaster pay me a portion of what they would pay to him to occasionally get things in and out.
A relocator of merchandise.
Yes.
Yarrow kind of just like raises an eyebrow. Because in his head, he's like, it's just a really fancy way of calling you a smuggler, isn't it? Doesn't say it out loud.
Seeing your look on your face, he'll probably smile and just go about his way. He says, I'm currently, though, looking for employment myself, and perhaps we can get you some. Well, I don't know. He stands up and sort of looks at you. Are you like really physically fit?
Yarrow stands about 5'11"ish. You could tell that he definitely would have a bod on him, but unfortunately the treatment from the cannibals has kind of thinned him out a little bit.
Yeah, they wasted the gains.
To put it mechanically speaking, he has a 12 in physique.
Okay.
So yes, he is very much
okay. I might be able to pass you off as a porter for now. But my friend, I will never treat you as a slave. I guarantee you that. Shedkeru does not own slaves. He does not like slavery. And he'll, as you guys finish up, he'll take a bit of dirt, wipe it on the inside of the earthenware dish to sort of clean it off, and then scrape it out, set it back over on the hearth. He'll do the same with the bowl. So that's cleaning it. Put a little dirt on it, makes it better, right? He says, come. So, are you a religious man?
Yarrow, he'll actually take a second. Define religious man.
Do you believe in the gods?
Do I follow certain aspects? Yes. Do I pray to a certain deity? No.
That answers my question. I wasn't asking if you were a priest or such, but sometimes the guidance of the gods is what everyone needs. I do, my friend. Seem to be guidance, and so do I.
And Yarrow kind of looked at it. No, what I need right now is clothes.
Maybe maybe some priests might be encouraged to give charity to a worshiper, if you will, at least if that worshiper is, even if he is just a worshiper for the day. So, what say you? Shall we go out and see what we can find in this wonderful city?
We might as well. It's better than being with the cannibals.
Okay. So as you guys head out, he'll look over at you and say, "So, the spear you carry, I'm sure you probably took from a unfortunate cannibal, and the clothing you're wearing is not obviously things you've been wearing for quite some time. What is that scroll? It seems sort of place."
Yarrow, when Shed mentioned the scroll, Yarrow almost like put his hand over it, like instinctively. You know how people of the gods always talk about faith and following something almost blindly? I feel like that got pushed onto me. And I got this scroll when I was running from the cannibals, and I was fighting next to someone I guess, was also likewise trying to run from the cannibals. And he died. And when he died, all I saw was light, then dark, and I had this scroll in my lap.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened.
Okay.
But that's how I came to have this. And that's how I managed to get away.
Okay. Got an esoteric knowledge there, Mr. Narrator.
You're muted.
I could tell by his mouth that
Sure. Would you like
7,
to?
6, 17.
I also realized
Over.
that
That's a 30.
a 30.
Had an 8 explode twice.
Oh, nice. That's a fat 30.
At 30.
Fat 30.
It's also not bad skill. So
Why? I mean, well, come on. So, a fat 30 will give you, yeah, that is indeed a Gaius scroll. These sigils upon it, is what gives it away there for you. Those occult sigils. Mind you, you're not an oracle. You don't know runes and or sigils, but there's some shit there. Let me tell you, sir.
Okay. All right. He'll sort of nod after he looks at it for a moment or so, and he'll say, "Yeah, that is a Gaius scroll. You have been laid upon a path. And by me associating with you, I may also have been roped into such a thing. Someone did something, and I feel that fellow you described that fell, this may be, I don't want to say it was of his doing, but it could have been tied with his fate. That maybe you were fated to run into him at that moment."
So what you're saying is that it's not coincidence that I happened to run into a certain cave chased by a certain group of cannibals and had a certain fight.
Well, only the gods can truly know. And as he says that, he turns to a building that's basically next door to this flop house and starts heading toward the front of it.
Yarrow kind of look around, especially since he's only seen the town by dark for that little bit.
Mhm.
And he'll follow after Shed. I mean, he's kind of, it's not quite tourist glamored, like, oh crap, where am I? But it would be, the normal curiosity of just seeing a new place.
Okay.
Okay.
And Shed Kier will walk into the shrine, the multi-god shrine.
To call it a shrine is
Yeah.
well, that's a little. They're very proud of that title, but it's essentially another one-room flop house with many little niches in there with a statue of a certain god in there.
Okay.
Or spirit of some kind.
So yeah, so he'll Shed will go in, and he's going to he will actually start on the left and work his way around, giving he's a polytheist.
Okay, good.
He believes all gods deserve veneration, and he never knows when some god might be watching and may get offended if he doesn't give them the proper
right.
Yeah. So that's what he's doing at the moment.
Oh yes. So there are a few other you should probably excuse me. There are other people here. There
Okay.
are a few very poor, rather destitute. You could call them priests if this was more a if it was a more metropolitan place, but maybe right, Shed Kuru's probably been here a handful of times, and he probably knows
Mhm.
something a little bit of the occult, and maybe a couple of them, these people will remain unnamed. Some of them might be quacks, not all of them. Some of them might actually have true faith. Some of them might, like I said, be quacks. Others just don't have a priest there. Like, for example, one of the gods present is the elemental god of fire, the burning fury. What is this shrine? It's basically a side table with a red and or white. It's kind of like a red marble bowl with some quartz crystal shot through it, carved into into a bowl, has water in there, and it has a red waxed candle behind it. Very simple. And there, as far as you know, as long as you've been here, there have been no priests to see over this. Someone just lit a candle and put up a little table.
Okay.
That's how simple this place is. The wretched looking blind woman who sees over the shrine to the crushing depths is there doing her divination with her fish bones and creeping everyone out in this room. She's mumbling to her. Every time you come here, she's always mumbling something.
Mhm.
Reading the portents of some doom or someone's doom or many dooms of the world.
Always
Dun,
doom.
dun, dun.
There's always dooms.
Mhm.
But there are some other people huddling around a god who is associated, well, I say god, a power, a spirit associated with travel and good fortune here. Well, that sort of thing. They're having a nice, pleasant conversation. Some young woman puts incense in a little incense burner and lights it, and slowly the perfume of sandalwood permeates the small area. So I will let you explore the scene.
This being Yaro's first time here, he'll see Shed kind of go to each one, and he'll actually follow Shed just to see what all is here. The most he'll give a god or a spirit that's not his own will be a respectful bow of the head. He might say a mutter of thanks to the crushing depths, just because that is the closest god or deity aligned with what he is attached to.
What he
I'm
believes, so to speak.
right. I'm assuming there is no whale totems or spirits emulated here. Yes.
Well, there's there's a whale ivory statuette on the sea shrine, but there's nothing specifically for that. That's the shrine itself is this, again, it's basically a side table with a very nautical decorated theme on there.
Right.
A
Yeah.
lot of
So
silver coins.
right.
Apparently the crushing depths or various sea powers have a thing for the metal silver.
Yeah. So yeah, after following Shed around like the loop, so to speak, he'll go back to the table that has the whale statuette. And he won't kneel, but he will stand there kind of in quiet reverence. muttering prayers underneath his breath.
And the sea woman is still there,
Yeah.
muttering to her fish bones.
You might actually, as you're doing that, hear Shed behind you with the sea woman lean down to her and hand her a small bit of fish wrapped in cloth and say, "Here you go, babushka. It's not much."
She doesn't look up at you, but she does, like, her tanned elephant hide hand goes. She could put it in her hand,
Okay.
and then she goes
Place it
back
in her
to the
hand.
thing.
Okay, and
Goes
that's
back
that.
to the thing.
Yeah, yeah. He leaves her to it, and then he is going to put a smile upon his face and a bit of a saunter in his walk. He's walking to walk over to the group, and he'll say, "Hail, visitors! You seem to be about to take a journey." He
No,
smiles really big.
we've just arrived.
Oh, you just arrived. Well, welcome to our wonderful metropolis here. Have you been? Have you seen the sights as of yet? Do you have a local guide?
We are visiting family.
Ah, so might I inquire upon whom I have happened upon in the shrine here today? Is it an august personage that you are related to here? One of the great lords, maybe?
No, we're simply common folk visiting family on holiday.
I just thought by
It's
your bearing.
two men and a woman.
Yeah, I just thought by your bearing, you may be of note. I do apologize if I have offended. Sort of bow and step back half a step from them. Although, have you been here before?
Seemingly the oldest of the older of the two men there. Like I said, it's two men and a woman. It says that he is just bringing his younger siblings with.
Then you know how dangerous the streets can be. Yes.
Oh yes, well, I have informed them. They will be safe with me.
Well, I was just as a humble son of the city. I was going to offer you my eyes as a guide if you needed be, or if you happen to need any assistance or protection and such for a small fee, of course, but that would just be great.
We will be perfectly fine. We're not going to any of the rougher parts of the town.
Well, may the gods, and he sort of gestures at the entire room, may the gods protect you and watch over you, travelers. So, sort of step back and like make sure that he's not crowding them at all. And then he'll walk over to Yarrow and say, "Oh, no, strike it on that one."
Yarrow will kind of give a sideways glance, just give an almost like wry chuckle, like, all right, pedal what you're gonna pedal, man.
Well, you get money wherever you possibly can.
Yeah, you gotta feed yourself somehow.
Right.
So no, this trio follows, from what you can understand, their elder sibling out. Maybe the younger man is a little bit starry-eyed at everything. Oh, he's clearly never been this far from home, apparently. And his sister seems a tad bit uninterested in the shabbiness of this place. She is not a great beauty, but she's all right looking. She's pretty.
Okay.
As a smuggler, you would be familiar with those who possibly possibly dabble or deal in human cargo, and you kind of do the math in your head, and you think, how pretty is she compared to if she can possibly read or not. Well, she knows how to burn the right incense for a traveling god, so she might be educated. And so you're kind of weighing the abacus in your head, and you go, no, she'll be fine.
Okay.
She's pretty, but not quite pretty enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty, but not dangerous pretty.
Exactly. You have not seen any dangerous pretty girls
No.
on Sultaj yet, maybe.
Okay.
Or if they are not let out of their father's house without
Or
being very chaperoned.
father, master, owner,
That, yes.
All the above.
all of the above, possibly. Okay.
A male carer of some kind.
Well, yeah. So, well, my friend Yarrow, I think we need to venture out and find our meal for the day, or make it at least, earn it. So,
All right. Well, you know this place more than I do. You also look better than I do, so I'll let you lead the way. I'll play guard.
okay. Actually, at you mentioning that he looks better, he actually gives you just this ear to ear grin, and he'll say, "Well, then follow me, noble warrior," and he heads out and heads down toward the dock area. So,
The sight that dominates your eyes down there at the docks is that that damn foreign ship, that that enormous trireme that brought all those damn white people to Sultaj is still there. They are still peddling whatever wares that they. Well, I should say whatever. You probably know by now. They have a fabric that seems all but useless to you, but apparently the desert on the mainland gets very, very cold at night. And this fabric is excellent for cold weather, but you absolutely cannot wear it during the day. Absolutely not. The second that sun is up, you put that away. And the local people and merchants going back to the mainland are like clamoring for this shit. You've never seen or heard of the animal that this fabric comes from?
Oh, it comes from an animal? Huh.
It comes from an animal, yes.
Interesting.
Alleged, they say it, or at least the translators say it. And these white people, they're tall, and they have cat's eyes, blue and green cat's eyes, and no one likes it. No one likes looking at these people in the eye. Nothing. But the women they bring here are fine. Regardless if they have cat's eyes. Apparently, it's hideous on the men. It's absolutely breathtaking on the women.
Well, Shed is going to look around and see if anyone is loading or unloading any ships right now.
Oh, there's plenty.
Okay.
It's early morning. The shipyard is starting to wake up and people are moving.
Well, in that case, Shed is going to actually go and offer the services of him and his man Yarrow as strong backs to help load or unload goods as they may be.
You're gonna sell yourselves as porters?
Basically, yeah. So
okay. It's not hard for you to find work as a porter here.
Okay.
It's basically day work. It's gonna cost you the whole day.
Yeah, that's fine. It's at the moment we need to find some. While we're doing this, we're going to be having conversations with the other porters about what's been going on, what's up with these the cat eye people. Have there been any new developments with those? Basically, get the information about what's been going on.
Okay.
And
well, you can hire yourselves out to one ship, and they are transporting. What are they transporting? What did I write down? There's actually a few. There's a grain merchant, the wine merchant, and basically a shipment of building materials here. Stone haulers. There you go. You can sign yourselves out for the worst job, being a stone hauler. Yeah, you guys will be paid 15 copper for the day.
What do you think, Yarrow?
More than what I got now.
But
which
the
one do
work
you
is
want?
terrible. The work
But which?
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's backbreaking. The question is which of these cargoes do you want to help unload?
or you can do all three and get more money.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who looks like they need the most help?
Oh, the stone haulers. Absolutely. Because some of the slaves are work shy.
Of course.
Ah.
And they tend this captain in particular, you come to find out after a brief conversation, he does not like dealing in human cargo, but he sometimes one must, and it's not like he's mistreating them, but stone's got to move. It doesn't have legs by itself. And he makes the comment, free men tend to work better because when you put coin in their pockets, it puts a skip in their stride.
Yeah, I can
You-
attest to that.
Right.
Right.
Yes, as he's looking at these things, Shed lets a sigh and says, "But the wine looks so refreshing." But
It's
yes,
not, you do not get drunk on your own supply.
well, of course not. He was just thinking to himself he could possibly convince the fellow if he helped him unload it to possibly give him a bit of a give him a a jug of it at the end of the day. What do you
Coin
think,
or
Yara?
wine? What do you want?
Coin, because we have to have food.
Yeah, choose one.
So I guess we're doing the stone. What do you
Okay.
think, Yarrow? Do you agree with that?
We can do the stone for a little bit.
Okay.
Each of you, unless you wish to try and beat up that price, is going to be toiling under that horrid sun for 15 copper a day.
Okay. Well, I will be as we're doing this, of course.
Hint.
Yes.
Smuggler. I'm so,
Oh, I know.
okay, cool.
I'm thinking to myself.
I thought you're gonna just walk right past that key.
No, of course not.
Okay, my apologies. I'm gonna mute now.
So he's going to actually walk up to this captain, bow to him, and say, "I hear that you're looking for some work. How much are they charging you to unload this stuff?"
Well, they're not charging me. I am paying people to get it off my ship.
Well, I mean, the dock master hasn't come and told you that you owe him gold across his palm just to do business here as of yet.
Oh, I have. I wasn't allowed to drop anchor unless my gold greased his horrid palms.
That man is absolutely horrible.
Someone needs to put a dagger in his bladder.
Oh, I think so, or at least tweak his nose a bit. Perhaps someone who could get you around that tariff as you leave might be of value to you, sir.
That all depends. I don't think there are very many well-appointed smugglers in this town besides the helper.
Oh, but the helper will charge you so much more than it's necessary.
I don't know.
Do
you know the helper?
I've heard tale of him.
Are you an associate of the helper?
An associate of the helper? I mean, that would be scandalous if I were to be the associate of the helper, sir. As he looks, he literally looks around. Probably no one is there except Yarrow, and he's as if he's
Yarrow's already working, so
yeah, he's making a scene of it.
So he's not there. Okay, no, it's just Shed and this captain here.
He says, "Well, Captain, I'll tell you what. why don't we go and go onto your ship if that is okay with you, sir? I know it is very a very intimate place for a captain. It is like I hear allowing a stranger onto one's ship is almost like allowing a stranger into one's home. You know, one can never know what will happen with the wife. And he sort of gives him a wink at that
We
and a
can
grin.
discuss at the end of the dock.
As you wish, with prying ears about. But yes, I may be able to assist in the saving of large amounts of gold for you, sir.
He simply walks to the end of the pier, and I suppose you begin negotiating. All right,
Okay.
Keith, let's
Okay.
tell the character, tell the NPC what you got.
So yes, I do have the ability that once I can get you out of here. Yes, I believe they're. What did they tell you that the exit fee was going to be? I think it was 30 gold last I heard. Yes, or have they
It's
changed it again?
it's 40 silver per, basically per trip.
So 40 silver to dock and 40 silver to leave.
Exactly. They hold us
Oh,
hostage for
it is
for
absolutely
just shy of a
horrible.
gold.
It is absolutely horrible. Yes, but I will tell you this: I can, when they come to collect, I can help you have a good friend among them who will let you do this for, well, they will get nothing and they'll like it. He will leave smiling and telling everyone everything is wonderful when time comes.
He cocks an eyebrow at you.
It only cost you 10 silver. I look at him and I grin. I said, "Oh, my wonderful charm."
You didn't answer my question earlier. Are you an associate of the helper, or are you a competitor?
Well, seeing as the majority of us here are men of our own coin, competition would be what you would call it.
I don't know if I want to step on the helper's toes, so to speak, by going with a competitor when I have worked with him previously.
Well, you have.
That's why I know of him. That's why I asked you about him.
Well, would it make you feel better if you were to introduce me to him and maybe we could negotiate in good faith? So that, well, this way, my friend, you get a better deal. He potentially gets an ally. I do not want to be his competition. I'm only his competition out of necessity. I have no ill will toward the man.
Why don't you just go find him and hire yourself out to him?
Well, he's a smuggler. How am I supposed to find a smuggler if he's that good? I'll never find him.
Are you not also a smuggler? Don't they have a nose for each other?
Well, we do have a nose for each other, but we tend
to go find him.
We tend to test our skills against one another.
Well, test away, young man. There's no help for it. You go have truck with him, or you won't have business with me.
Well, my friend is out there unloading your cargo at the moment. I can leave him with you for a while and go do this business if need be. It shall be a horrid thing, though, if I walk in there to him, into the helper's open arms, and he sees you as being a bad customer. I would not. That would crush me. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot say you have sent me to him, because then he will think, oh, he was dealing with a possible competitor before we even talked. He didn't even bring him to me.
He just looks at you baffled. What? What? Be gone. No, this is a most uncomfortable interaction. I wash my hands of you.
I do apologize. Uncomfortable is not what I was aiming for, sir. I was just trying to make it easier for you in the long run. But I will be off. And he'll bow to him and sort of step back and go out, and he'll, hey Yarrow, I have some business to attend to in town here. Will you be okay here? I'll bring you
Yeah.
some lunch.
Try to find me some clothes.
I will do that as well. Yes. I will definitely try
I-
to find you some clothes, sir.
As an aside, I like how we went to work
And
you
I'm
just
doing
left
all the
Yarrow
working.
and you're gonna fuck off somewhere.
Which is why Yara's like, bring me back some clothes.
You kind of get the idea that, yeah.
You told me the first time when we went to the temple, oh, the priest
At
might
the-
give you some clothes because of charity. Didn't get anything from there.
You're kind of sending some mixed messages. Is Yarrow actually the fucking slave here, or you just give him to this captain?
Well, I asked Yarrow if he wanted to do this, and he said yes. He
All
never
right.
asked me if I wanted to.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So,
As Yara's holding like one thing of stone with each arm as they're talking.
okay,
Yeah. all
well,
right.
in that case, being a smuggler, I do have contacts. Yes.
I believe. Oh fuck! We haven't had a smuggler in a while. I
No,
think
smuggler
thieves
just
only
does this-
have contact. No, thieves have contacts.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Smugglers have smuggle.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
where
right.
you give
Okay.
stealth to the other people. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I have to use
Okay,
streetwise then.
Yeah, and thieves are the only ones I believe that have the
Well-
the bonus to essentially it's streetwise.
Corsairs have the port contacts.
Yeah.
It's
the port
it's
contact.
it's different.
Okay.
It's nautical. But no, as an aside, yeah, the system is very thief heavy, but there are 4 different thief backgrounds, and only one of them actually
Yeah.
gets
Yeah. Gets the contacts. Okay.
port
Well, that-
contacts is it's different than
Okay.
same terminology, different theater, I suppose. But anyway,
So, may I make a streetwise test to see if I would know where to go to start inquiring about the helper?
I would hope you did.
I will do my streetwise. Not my no. Okay. That's a 22 on streetwise.
Any of the taverns should
Mhm.
at least have somebody who knows somebody at least
Yeah.
third hand.
Okay.
But you don't know of any places that okay. Mormaz the helper is kind of a big fish.
Okay.
And he's he's pretty low key, keeping his a lot of his operations under wraps. So you might be able to find a for example, if this is the mafia, some you might be able to find 1 or 2 goons that are not quite made men yet, but know a guy who knows a guy who's a made man, so to speak.
Okay. So I guess I'll be going and trying to convince them to take me to their friend,
Right?
and then do the same thing. So would that be a persuasion check, right?
It would
Persuade?
be a persuasion check, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to find somebody first.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go to one of the many taverns and go in and see if I can locate someone who has the look that I'm looking for.
What look are you looking for?
I don't know. What does the 2022 Streetwise tell me I'm looking for?
Well, you're looking for a bunch of rogues, and
Right.
that's in a pirate city. Everyone
where-
looks roguish.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's I don't think, because it's very much a covert operation, I don't think they would advertise colors or
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. Hang
Okay.
on. That's actually a really good point. It is rumored that many associates of the helper have a special kind of dagger on their person that is thrust into a sash,
Okay.
or like a piratical sash, kind of a broad bladed uh, curved dagger with a single edge on it that has a it's made of cowhide. The
Okay.
the scabbard is. It's always worn on the left hip,
Okay.
and it does not take you long. But the third tavern that you go ahead and sweep has maybe a few of these young ruffians sitting at a table playing a game of dice and conversing amongst themselves conspiratorially. Make me another streetwise test. Since you get
Okay.
on the scene, you found them, but I want to see if you can actually not streetwise. I need
Okay.
premonition, please. Premonition.
Premonition. Okay, I do have that. Not quite as good, but I do have it. That's a 13.
Okay. It's these. Let me back up. How old is Shed Karu? How many cycles old is he?
Shed Crew Cycles was, I think he is about 28.
Okay. He has a few seasons in him. He's seen a few
Yes.
summers then. So he
Yep.
can read people more than moderately well.
Okay.
These young guys are maybe 2 seasons younger than you. So
Okay.
put them about 18 equivalent, like 17, 18 as a young guys.
Okay.
And they got kind of like the dirty hands, working dudes. They're wearing leather armor though, or reinforced leather jerkins. You can see the copper plates riveted to the inside of the jacket there, and they look kind of like some. Oh, I totally lost the TV show with the Irish gangsters.
Peaky Blinkers? No.
Peaky Blinders. Yes,
Peaky Blinders. Yeah. Peaky
they
Blinders.
kind of have that feel to them.
Okay.
These young guys who are like out to get some booty and to beat some people up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that test that you made, they're
Uh-huh.
looking for somebody. There's like 3 young sharks on a reef looking for somebody, and whoever they're looking for is not going to have a good time of it when they get their hands on them.
Ah.
And that's
But-
the scene you walk in on.
So their eyes are flittering around as I walk in. They look up as if they're expecting
They look
someone
at you.
else.
Probably the oldest one of them is maybe like 20, and he kind of looks at you and he's like, nah. And he goes back. He tells his associate, no, not him either.
Okay.
One of them looks real disappointed, like, and so yeah, that's there's a couple. There's a dancing girl there. She's wearing a yellow silk there. She's actually very beautiful.
Okay.
And there's about a dozen other people here. Common folk, sailors, and such like. Most of them look like they're tradesmen of some kind due to their tattoos.
Oh,
Or
okay.
not tradesmen, artisans, craftsmen.
Artisans. Okay. All right. I'll make my my loop around and ask the barmaid
is he
for.
pretty well dressed, like your picture there?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah.
Is he wearing that yellow silk turban or the yellow linen turban there?
Yes, he is wearing the yellow linen turban.
Okay.
So, yes, as he walks in, he actually throws the hood of his outer robe back. He's kept it up outside. And he'll ask the
I
barmaid
really do
for
like that picture, by the way. That's
well, I
actually
do
really
too.
good.
It's awesome.
That's
Um,
fantastic.
I'll get you the source one. The source, but it's actually a painting.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
But I'll get you I'll get a cup of probably a cup of cheap wine um or beer or ale, whatever I can get for a copper or two. So
Okay. They give you what would be the equivalent of like the Sumerian workman's wine. So it's like
okay,
really, it's
yeah,
not it's not the sour one, but it has
yeah,
bread chunks in it
yeah,
for the yeast.
it's the one that has just enough alcohol in it to kill off the bacteria.
Oh yeah, it's basically
yeah,
it's a bread
yeah,
smoothie is what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
With an
he'll take
inch or
it.
two of honey at the bottom.
Yeah. He'll take his sip and grimace, of course, and then put the smile back on and saunter over toward these three gentlemen. And he'll say, "Gentlemen," and he'll sort of lean down toward them conspiratorially and say, "You seem to be looking for someone. Might I offer my assistance?"
The two younger boys, they're gonna look at the older one, which obviously is the leader. He has a gold hoop in his left ear that's got a ruby set in it. So this guy
Mhm.
might be somebody or think
Okay,
he is
yeah,
somebody.
or at least he got a big take recently and spit it on that.
Oh yeah,
So,
oh, he thinks he is tough shit.
mhm.
Uh, I mean he's a strapping lad, but we don't know. Uh, but he looks up at you, he cocks an eyebrow, and he goes, I think we're all right, assistance wise.
Uh,
We're good, but do you need something? He kind of looks you up and down.
I could possibly use some help.
A
Yes.
girl, maybe?
Well, no, not a girl per se. Um, well, that would be nice,
Maybe
but
another
no,
time.
definitely maybe another time.
Have
I
a
was
seat
actually
over there. And he actually points with his chin at the stool that's like right next to the youngest. He's like the 17-year-old
okay.
there. It's like,
All
all
right.
right, have a
Uh,
seat there.
I'll go there, and with a swirl of my cloak, I'll take the seat. Um,
So the younger kid kind of like he scoots
mhm,
his stool over a little bit to let you. These kids look like they're pretty fucking rough, but amazing.
mhm.
They're actually being
They're still
quite polite.
kids.
They're quite being polite here.
Okay. He'll take a seat. He'll prop his walking staff up against the wall there, and he'll say, I'm actually looking for well, to make contact with someone, and it's someone who can assist me.
Oh,
Us, yes, one who may be of help. You know, one who does help,
oh,
helper.
oh, a helper. Oh, I
Yes,
see.
I have a captain that I have been dealing with who may need to do some transactions with a fellow that by the by the mark of your the way that you hold yourself and such, I figured you gentlemen would most definitely know. Obviously, based on your standing and whatnot.
This kid doesn't look at you. He's scanning the room, but it's pretty
Mhm.
obvious. Like if his ears could move, he's listening to you, but his eyes are paying attention to something else.
Okay. Okay.
I could get you associated with an associate of mine.
Mhm. Ah, I was right. You are a man who is connected. So,
He kind of he oh let me see that here. Oh, of course he fucking fails. You stroke his ego a little bit there, and he
mhm,
puffs up just ever so slightly, puffs up like, yeah, I'm tough shit.
mhm.
Uh, and he goes, yeah, you could say that I'm a well-connected individual here. I know some powerful people.
Yes. I he'll Shed will sort of he'll sort of well lean back a bit from the table, sort of sit up a little bit straighter, as if he's in the company of someone who is of note. Instead of leaning forward conspiratorially, take a sip of his beer, forget that it was his beer or his wine. Chew a bit and set it down.
Oh,
And he'll look at the fellow and say, "So, what service would you require to introduce me to your network, my new friend?"
I can get you an introduction for 4 copper. And he reaches out his hand across the table, and he just palm up, like he's not even thinking you're gonna argue with him. He's like,
Well, actually, at that, Shed will sort of look around and say, "Are you sure about that?" And he'll reach out and he'll put his hand on his gently and sort of slide it back. Says, "Not here. We don't know
no
what
one is
I
watching. We'll be perfectly fine. Coin.
ah." But you do not know, young fellow. It could be that would be the case. That maybe there is one watching, and he'll reach out and he'll stroke his hand, and I will cast my first spell.
Oh my god. Okay.
Enthrall. Enthrall.
He's not looking at you.
Does enthrall require eye contact?
Yeah,
Or
it's a
does it-
hypnotic thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to make sure that goes in the notes then.
Yep.
I
get
because I was thinking skin to skin contact would be enough.
No. Hey, you got to look at him, or he's got to look at you, really.
Okay. Then I say I will gently place my hand upon his, and I'll say, "Are you sure?"
I am quite certain.
Okay.
A couple of these other
Well-
these other 2 guys are like, "What the hell's going on?" He
Yeah.
keeps looking at this hand holding on the table.
Uh-huh. I'm waiting. I'll stroke his hand a little bit. Are you sure? Because I know these guys are getting like, "What the hell?"
Uh-huh. Maybe he thinks you're a bugger. We don't know.
Well, you don't know, man.
Do you want that contact or not?
I do. I so do. Yes, I
Coin.
do want that. And he'll reach in and take his last 4 coppers out, and he'll place them on the table just beyond the guy's hand. Clink,
Well, then
clink, clink, clink.
he'll put his hand on it, and he'll scoop it up with his hand and place it in his pocket.
Mhm.
And he mutters something to one of these younger boys, and he actually gets up and he dismisses himself. Your contact will be here shortly.
Okay. I'll look at the other 2 and just say, does he give you any of this? Since he'd got been left.
There's only 2 there now.
Oh, yeah, so I'm looking at the two younger boys. I'm like, do you guys get any of that?
No, I'm saying there's only 2 of these thieves left. One of them left. There was 3. There's
Yes.
4 of you at the table. One of them left. Now there's 3. You and the other 2.
Yes, I mean, I look at the other 2, so I'm saying.
One of the
You
younger ones
kept
left.
saying 3.
Oh,
Like,
I said one of the original. Well, yeah, one of the 2 younger ones that were part of the 3 earlier that are now 2.
Yes.
Yes, I look at the 2 of them.
I'm trying to make sure we
Yeah.
have the right amount of people at
Yeah.
this table.
Yeah, I'll look at the other 2, or the 2 other than myself, and I will ask them, "Do you get any of that? Like copper?"
The youngest one sitting next to you says, "I get paid later.
Ah,
We're on a job.
really?
Yeah, we're trying to find somebody."
Well, since I've now obviously graced your friend's palm with copper, maybe I could help you. I do know people.
I'm sure, but we're not with you.
Well, not yet. Obviously, he's going to get to contact someone, and I will be with you soon. I'm trustworthy.
Not in our line of work.
Okay.
Damn. Okay. Uh it takes a couple hours.
Okay.
Yarrow, your friend Shed has been gone
Okay.
for some time.
Yeah. I'll be conversing with these young guys and see if I can get names and sort of what their lives have been like, and you know.
These kids are professionals.
Really? Okay.
They you are astounded by how tight-lipped these are. It might lend some thoughts as to what the hell does the helper do to these young men that keeps
Yeah.
their mouths shut.
Okay.
We don't know.
Well, in that case, I will tell if I'm there for more than an hour or so, I'll look at the two fellows and I'll say, I hope your friend is not going to just leave you here and then take my money and run. So,
No.
okay. Yeah.
He would not last very long if he did
Okay.
that.
Well, then I must attend to something, young men. You are welcome to accompany me if you wish, but I have a
We are
friend.
pressed here.
Okay, I have a friend who I did promise that I would assist as well. Um, when your friend comes back, have him send one of you out to the docks. There's the ship there that's unloading the stone. I'll be in that vicinity.
We will have an associate. I will have your contact come and find you. You
Hmm.
said the Stonehauler ship, the Mason
Yes,
ship.
yes.
All right, then I'll send him there.
Well, thank you very much, young man. You're a wonderful, wonderful person. So,
All right, with that, I'm gonna have a 5-minute bio break. I'll be right back.
okay.
If we
Come
want to
back.
take a fiver here.
I think so. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I am back now.
All right, I am also returned.
The Bedouin chieftain, huh? I like that.
Yes. Yeah. So
I like that a lot. Godfrey Guffins, huh? Okay.
yeah, interesting little bit of art there.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that guy was actually a model for
I
like,
think
or if this was of like if he stood there for the painting.
it's possible. I mean,
I wonder if that was somebody's grandpa or something like that. Yeah.
could have actually been a Bedouin chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I will concede the scene to Yarrow, since I have been monopolizing it thus far.
You're either you're muted or your mic is down, something like that.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, it was just up a little bit. Yeah, Yar's just gonna be slinging stone.
It's some pretty terrible work, let me tell you. What'll end up happening is you'll get paid 17 copper for this job. And it seems that a lot of the dock laborers, at least the free men who are allowed to go from ship to ship, hire themselves out as ships come in, come out, and come to find out that these foreigners, these horrible cat-eyed white people, are unloading yet another of these ships. Most of this morning, as you have been hauling stone for this smaller ship, one of these triremes has pulled up anchor and then left, and then another one has come in behind it, and you actually see outside the harbor there's actually three triremes, and it seems like a smaller escort ship, possibly a bireme of some kind. These obviously you don't have really a great knowledge of foreign ships, but 6 ships in total, and it seems that the larger of the two styles of ship is actually the one that actually has the cargo. So a new ship has come in, and the people who are getting off of this ship are hiring out laborers to unload this strange cloth that they have. And the reason why they're doing one ship at a time is this harbor is not big enough to have all 3 triremes in it. Otherwise, all 3 that would be it. No one else would be able to come in.
Right. It would take up the whole thing.
The a trireme takes up quite a bit of room, as it turns out, and surprise, these foreigners are polite merchantmen, maybe. Oh, you don't know, but these people are paying 15 silver for the job to get it off of their ship, and you don't know how long that takes. Now,
what are they hauling off is the question.
That fabric.
Oh, that's right. That's fabric, yeah.
Player knowledge, it's wool. Your character knowledge, you've never seen it before.
Right. How much time's left in the day?
You've only been Shed Karu's only been gone for a few hours, and so they unloaded the stone rather quickly. Let's say about 10 more hours of daylight.
And they pay me the
wool,
17 copper right then and there, right? Like I have 17 copper to my name right now.
It's going to be half now, half later is what these foreigners are doing, which is probably a little strange.
The stone. that paid me the
Yeah,
copper to do the stone.
you have 17 copper in your hand right now. You got paid
Okay.
after the job.
Okay. And these foreigners are paying half up front and half when it's done.
Correct.
Okay. So we got 10 hours left. How close? Okay, you said 10 hours left. How close are we to when it would be lunchtime? Because Yarrow hasn't eaten since they had the stew when they first got up.
Oh, you started a couple hours after dawn, so it's been a couple hours later. So lunchtime probably be an hour and a half. If lunchtime is around 11:30 in the morning, just before noon.
Right. Yarrow, like I'm assuming it's like a line of people waiting to like volunteer for this shit.
Oh yeah, there's a mob.
Okay. Yeah, because if I go to get food now and come back, there's a chance all the spots are going to be taken.
Right.
So Yarrow's going to go now and he'll volunteer himself. Because if it's 15 silver, that's a lot of money to him right now.
Uh-huh. These sailors are quite wealthy, apparently. And it takes about 70 souls to unload the entire ship, and they're going to be doing that real quick. So hopefully that'll be quite a bit of money there. So if you're going to be doing that for however long that's going to take, I'll roll for it here in a bit. Shed Carew, where is Shed at?
So he would have been there at that bar for a bit, talking to these guys, trying to get them to loosen their lips a little bit.
Nope, they're professionals.
But so after about an hour and a half of all that, he'll tell them that he'll head back out to the docks, and that they'll find him there, and he was going to go look and try to find Yarrow.
Well, you will find Yarrow. He will be aboard that foreigner ship that possibly makes you quite uncomfortable.
A bit. I've heard tales that they like taking slaves.
Mm.
He'll is there? I guess they're probably have quite a number of guys unloading that ship, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll
several dozen souls.
Yeah, they're probably. I'll. Do they have a guy of supervising at the foot of the dock?
Oh yeah, they have a taskmaster.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll walk over and ask him if he has room for any more.
He looks you up and down. He sees how thin you look, and with your fine clothes, and he goes, "Shouldn't you be in the slave market with that pretty cloak of yours?
Well,
instead of in the belly of a ship unloading wool."
Well, sometimes even the best fall apart in hard times.
His
and I've
accent, speaking the VIII trade language, is weird.
Yeah,
I really don't like how the way he says a lot of those things.
Yeah, and he'll sort of smile and he'll say, "Well, it is sometimes knowledge is more valuable than commodities at times, and to actually get my hands on a piece of that cloth, feel it, know what the weave looks like and such, that sometimes is more valuable to other merchants than the actual than slaves. Actually, unfortunately, most people here don't actually have slaves other than the ones that they want to feed to the cannibals. Or have you not
I
heard
have
that,
found
sir?
that Sultash does not have many slaves on it.
They do not. Although I hear just outside of the city there are many escaped slaves, those who have survived the onslaught of those vicious beasts that call themselves people.
He shrugs.
Not
all men are equal.
No,
Some
of course
are
not.
born closer to beasts than others.
Oh yes, 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 my friend. We have the same mind in that regard. So where do you hail from? I've not seen your like. And there are many rumors.
He smiles. What are these rumors? Tell me these rumors.
Oh, there's some are even more each is more salacious than the last. According to one fellow I heard, you've sailed from beyond the edge of the world.
He
Others say that you're
nods. That
others
could
say that
be.
you oh, that's true, but others say that by your eyes you do dealings with the beings beyond the sunrise, and that is why your eyes glow the way they do.
There are many people where I come from who have eyes like mine.
Ooh, it must be an enthralling sight to walk down the streets and see nothing but jewels in place of people's eyes. Unfortunately, here even the most beautiful lass, her eyes are the dull brown of wet sand.
He
Tell me,
shrugs.
are the ladies where you come from, as their eyes they sparkle when you give them a compliment? Does
Their
this smiling?
smiles do as well.
Ah, so to go to such a land and bring back the tales. You're a very lucky man. You're a very lucky man.
How so?
Well, you have seen so much.
He nods. To describe this guy, he's not entirely mortal himself. It's pretty clear he's a mixed race individual,
Okay.
but most of you don't know his culture, but he's Ebon folk. But there's maybe a few other ethnicities in that wood pile, so to speak. His ears are slightly oblong, so it maybe has a dash of Fey in his family tree.
Hmm.
His usual white skin would be tinted or slightly bronzed due to being out in the sun. He wears a coat of ebon mail over what looks to be an undyed so basically a beige linen tunic. He has a pair of ebon greaves that cover his legs from the shins down. He's wearing a pair of tall sandals, an ebon broadsword on his belt, and over his right shoulder is a snow leopard pelt, as seems like it's more of a fashion statement than a mantle of some kind.
Okay.
You've never seen an animal that has that pattern before. You know what a leopard is, but
Yeah.
do leopards come in white? I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, would he even be familiar with Evan?
You would not be.
Okay, so it's some mysterious black metal. So he'll actually
That has a blue tint to it when the sun
yeah,
hits it. Yeah.
yeah, he'll as he's sort of been talking to this fellow, he'll then turn and say, This this is obviously metal here, but I'd have never seen its like. And he'll very tentatively reach out one finger and like run it down one of the plates, just as if to feel it with his fingernail, making sure his hand stays completely visible to the fellow.
Oh, he watches you touch his armor. He just watches your finger. You rake your
Yeah.
fingernail across the mail links there.
Yeah, then he'll pull back and say it has an odd feel to it, not the bronze I've seen here or the copper.
Bronze is a baser metal.
To many here, bronze is the best they can hope for.
His eyes go a little wide at it. He goes, are you really?
Yes.
He
Well,
kind of
yes.
gives you this, are you serious look?
Well, yes, if you were to see um, the most wealthy merchants, if you notice their guards, they wear bronze.
Huh. You see the gears start turning in
Uh-huh.
this guy's head, like,
Mm.
oh
In
no.
fact,
You
and
probably
oh no,
shouldn't
no,
have
no,
said that.
it's okay. In fact, the harbor master, if you'll notice, I'm sure he'll be coming by to visit it so in the very near future. His guards very proudly wear their bronze breastplates and their bronze weaponry. So, but as you said, baser materials and such. That's huh. That is that is quite interesting.
Some of the lesser tribes where I come from still garb themselves in bronze mail,
Hmm.
and I've seen an ebon sword bite through it.
Ooh. This your people must be the wealthiest people in the world.
Well, since you're going to be stroking his ego like that,
Oh yeah.
he kind of looks at you, and mind you, player knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Player knowledge, you know what Felport is like.
Right. Yeah.
And but character knowledge is like, oh my god, these people are so wealthy. But
Yeah.
he gets this really far off look
Mhm.
as someone who is from there and knows a thing or two. And
Uh-huh.
he takes a long moment to answer. He says, some are quite wealthy.
Uh, I mean, your land must be, because you said some are quite wealthy. Of course, it will be the nobles, obviously. And he sort of grins at that. He says, "Are you, sir, a noble of your land to be a to be dressed as such?"
No, I'm a soldier.
And the nobles must be truly wealthy. For here, I mean, a man such as yourself, in such, I mean, I could see you being a lord of this land.
I am told that even the slaves in Ra wear gold, though.
I've never
And
been
yet
to
you know
Rome.
nothing of Ebon.
I've never been to. We know of gold. Gold comes from from various things. Yes, it is it is the favored metal of the and he actually sort of glances upward at this moment, and it is the favored metal of Zabraxian.
He this taskmaster steals a look to the sky and he says, yes, it's Abraxian. And he makes the symbol of the sun in the air, almost as possibly as a ward to protect himself from the burning gaze of Zabraxian. And he says, if you want to purchase the wares, and he points with his chin over to a warehouse nearby that a stream of laborers are bringing their bundles in, and it's heavily guarded. There's like 8 troopers over there.
Okay. He looks over and he starts to take a step, then he hesitates and he says, "Oh, by the way, there was a rumor that I had heard, and you may be able to clarify it for me
Oh,
before I leave. This cloth, I've heard a rumor that it comes from an animal."
yes.
Hmm. He'll he'll turn and walk off, and he'll say sort of off into the air, "I would love to see an animal that produces such fine fabrics." And he'll
At this point, when you turn to possibly walk off, the harbor master shows up.
okay. I will give
Everyone knows this guy.
I
That
will give him a
corpulent gelatin that has legs comes down with his 2 troopers, clad head to toe in their bronze breastplates.
I will bow deeply to him and actually almost brush the ground with my hand. "Oh, harbor master, I hope today is a beautiful day for you, sir." And he'll sort of sidestep out of his way.
He looks at you and says, Shidkaru, what sort of mischief are you stirring up in my docks this day?
"Oh, no mischief whatsoever, sir. I'm an upstanding citizen."
Lies. Be gone with you.
Yes, Harbor Master. I shall retreat from your glorious presence. As he starts backing up, for you have great business today. As he's walking back further and further. Yeah, I'm going to walk off to the side and watch.
Dare I ask, do you actually pitch your voice like, oh, you have
A little bit.
glorious business today so the taskmaster can hear you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so this guy turns with all of the glory and power of Freeport, excuse me, Fellport behind him, because an officer of the NFEF, excuse me, the FNEF, the Fellport Naval Expeditionary Forces, it turns his blue cat's eyes on this Thoranean slug, and he salutes him with a there is some disdain in that in that greeting, and it's writ pretty large on his face, and a couple of like the laborers, the local people are like, oh shit. And of course the harbor master is going to give him his spiel, and say, oh well, there's all these taxes, and the line of bullshit. The taskmaster gives each different captain a different story every time for why he's exorbitantly charging for this. And to Shed's ear, he actually you don't think you hear him right. You really don't think you hear the harbor master right. You hear him charge 40 gold to drop the anchor in this dump. You're not sure, but your eyes go wide like, I hope he did not say that to that very scary white man with blue eyes there.
Shed is going to grin ear to ear as he hears it.
And this taskmaster, he didn't get his name. The sailor, this foreign sailor, like okay. The way a nobleman deals with a petty functionary in his daily life, the manner of curt disdain of like, oh, okay, you're beneath my notice kind of thing, and he just goes into a pocket underneath his snow leopard mantle there, and he counts out 40 gold coins that are kind of fucking huge. And he just like drops them into this fat guy's hand and he doesn't say anything, which will haunt you. He doesn't like, oh, good morning. He didn't do any of like the pleasantries, none of that shit, which the harbor master was trying to get him to talk, and possibly trying to perjure himself or screw himself more, or trying to get him to spend more money, blah blah. And so this guy just gives him this money, pays off the harbor master, and turns his back full upon him like he's the predator in the situation. And this fat man with his guards is like, and so one of these guards like tries to take a step forward, and like you're tell this sailor like, well, you're gonna be disrespectful like that, and this man slowly turns and puts that blue eye on this guy as he's like trying to reach out and manhandle this foreigner, stops. The taskmaster, excuse me, the harbor master calls his dog off, and then they walk away, and you can tell that this guy, this fat money grubbing son of a bitch, is fucking furious.
Has a lot of people sort of stopped to watch this exchange?
Oh my god, There are hundreds of eyes watching this.
Okay. Are there any like merchant stalls anywhere near me at the moment? Like
Yes,
any,
there is a mango stall right next to you. You can reach out with your right hand and put your hand on some mangoes.
burglary.
Burglary. Yep. What'd you roll? Oh, for fuck's sake.
19.
God damn. Fine.
I'll
You-
pocket
you
2
s-
mangoes.
You steal 8 mangoes because he's
mangoes? Okay.
oblivious.
Okay. All right.
And this mango, this fruit merchant,
Mhm.
just it's like leans over to the woman standing next to him, and he says, "I think he's just lost face."
Okay.
And the woman's like, "Oh, I know he did. He lost
Yeah.
face to a foreigner
Okay. I'll
with
just
the cat's eyes."
I'll just slide off to the side and around a corner.
Okay, make me a stealth test.
All right.
Oh, for fuck's sake, why do I roll terribly when I run? And okay, god damn it, Keith.
Last time you said that,
Uh-huh.
Ben died.
A play.
Seven-
Shut
Why
up,
do
17.
Raiden.
I always roll so terribly? Oh, Ben's dead.
17.
Yeah, okay, no, they're not paying attention to you.
Okay.
No one is
Um,
paying attention to you.
Okay. I am going to go a little further in. I'm looking for a clothing merchant, not a high end one, but someone who maybe has secondhand clothing. And I'll see if I can't
There's
trade
plenty
6.
of that.
I'll ask if I can't trade 6 of these mangoes for a cheap pair of pants and a tunic, or just a tunic even.
Why would you trade them when you have pretty much a captive audience here? When
I mean,
you're rolling well on your burglary.
yeah. Well, if no one's paying attention, I'm going to do that. Yes, I'll get him.
Well, yeah, I told you no one's paying attention to you.
Burglary. That's a 16.
Okay. Yeah, you can pilfer a tunic, belt, and some trousers there. There you go.
Okay. I'll get that and tuck that aside, and then I'm gonna head back to the hovel, stow the mangoes, or or part of the mangoes. I'll keep 2,
Okay.
and then I'm going to head back down to the docks. See if I can't wave Yarrow down.
Yarrow is going to be very busy for quite some time.
Okay. All right. I'm just basically, it's like, hey, Yarrow, look, I have you clothes and lunch. And then go off to the side, start eating a mango.
Yarrow, let's have an awareness test, please.
Yep, give me a second.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, 23.
Oh yeah, no, you see him. Yeah, you see Shed off to the side. If Shed Carew wishes to continue his conversation with the taskmaster overseeing his people there, you totally can.
He respects you more than he respects the harbor master.
You're not trying to get money out of him.
No, he'll actually walk over and he will offer him the other mango.
The foreigner? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you tried this, sir? It's a local delicacy.
and he says, do you have a fruit knife?
I'll actually pull up. It's a copper fruit knife. But yeah, he'll pull it out and he'll
Sure.
he'll cut him a
Cut it
slice.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll take a slice from you and he'll eat it.
Okay. This is so. As I said, pompous local officials with their proud of their bronze armor.
I'm gonna give you some advice.
Yes, sir.
If you have any affairs to put, and he doesn't look at you. He does not look at you when he says this. And which might actually be really, really fucking rude coming from your perspective and in culture wise. If you have any affairs to put in order, do so now. Because I'm going to burn this town to the ground in 3 days.
Oh, I would dearly love to see that. I hate this place.
Go away now.
He will bow very deeply, as you wish, sir. It was a pleasure, though, your company. And he'll smile and head off away from the fellow. And he's gonna make sure he's somewhere where he's seen. So when his contact shows up, it'll be easier to be seen there.
Okay. A couple hours pass.
Okay.
You are sometime after noon now. Yarrow is probably famished now because it's been on the boat, off the boat, on the boat, off the boat with linen fabric for hours, and you haven't eaten much.
Honestly, considering what he had been through for the unknown number of days before this, he's probably actually got that I'm hungry, but I'm still exhilarated energy type of hungry because he's not being chased by cannibals.
I'm doing something productive, but I'm really hungry.
Okay. Well,
kind of, sort of, yeah.
But
no,
I also have 7.5 silver in my pocket right now.
Yeah, sometime around 4 p.m. that day, several hours after noon, and it's actually getting on towards lunch, and your stomach is protesting. The taskmaster and 2 of his officers make their rounds, and everyone was given 7 silver coin at the beginning, and just seemingly just to throw money around, these laborers got an extra 25 and promptly dismissed, which may or may not be somewhat rude.
So we're not done with the job yet. But I was given 7 when I started on the boat.
Right.
I was just given 25 and essentially told to get off. Yarrow is tempted to argue because he is a hard worker ethic of I was supposed to do a job, but at the same time he's like, all right, boss told me to go. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you kind of get this feeling that you're given more money completing the job to incentivize you to leave quicker. I'm not going to make you roll for premonition, but that's kind of why the hell they want to get rid of us so damn quick,
right? As I pass, after I get the money and they basically tell us to leave, I will say, if you need my help again, feel free. And Yara will bugger off the ship.
Okay.
One of the officers, when you offer to enlist yourself for more work, one of the female officers will say, and just this woman is goddamn drop dead gorgeous. I had never seen a white woman before with blue eyes before, but oh my god. She smiles at you, and which, I mean, oh my god, no anime nosebleed. But she says, I don't think we're going to be coming back around this way again. And she speaks the Yaith tongue, the trade language, with a really weird accent, but it's okay. I I'm gonna describe it the same way like Russian women speaking English. There's always this feeling of, is she actually a secret agent? Is she gonna kill me? Kind of thing. That's kind of that's the way she
Okay.
talks. It's the way she speaks the trade language. And yeah, she
Okay.
says, I don't think we're going to be coming back this way. And she looks to the taskmaster and they exchange a look, and she doesn't say another fucking word at all. She just gives you a curt like half bow with her head and says, safe travels to you.
Can I make a check to like get that to see that look?
See what was in that look? Please do. Give me a premonition.
Premonition? All right, give me a second. Because like regardless, like Yarrow gets like oh okay, one of those. But
Oh,
still, I want to see for certain how far he would know.
okay.
Oh, exploded twice. So 27. That's at 31.
Wow. That wasn't a good look. Something is going to happen, and it doesn't bode well for the locals at all. So
Yarrow
you
will
kind of
bow
take
to
the
both
hint, like,
of them.
yeah, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yarrow will bow to both of them. He will actually look at the taskmaster, and something that probably should never be said by a man in this situation, but it was a pleasure working with you, and fucking dip out.
He just smiles fucking wickedly.
Yeah, right.
And
meanwhile, in the back of my nose, like, whatever happens, I hope they remember me and I don't get caught up in it.
Right.
I'll meet you at the bottom of the gangplank. Cut you a piece of mango off from that one that was sliced off earlier.
Oh, thank you.
You're probably starving, aren't you?
Oh, I am.
And I have you clothes.
Oh, good. They gave us 25 extra silver.
Oh, they did.
And we weren't done yet.
Shed will look around and say, keep that quiet. Let the others get robbed before you. I should have a contact arriving here soon. Oh, and by the way, we have 3 days.
Sorry, I'm not there.
Yar's like eating and like, oh, 3 days. That connects with the look as the Please tell me you know of a way to get off this island.
I have an inkling of an idea.
And he will actually, at least in the hush whispers, talk about the exchange between the taskmaster and the woman.
Yeah. And I'll inform you of the conversation I had with the taskmaster.
Now everyone's caught up.
Yep. Yara will, of course, also change right then and there. He doesn't give a shit.
And I'll mention I'm supposed to have a contact showing up at some point here at the dock looking for me. So, and maybe with a contact with a way for us to get off the island. Especially when I tell him this information.
Well, a half breed of some kind with gold hooped earrings and a wine colored jaunty hat with a peacock feather stuck in it stands in the middle of the road with a saber on one hip and a buckler on the other, and tall sandals, a crimson piratical sash with a similar one of those daggers, however a lot more ornate than the three lads that you spoke with earlier, with sort of an umber like shoulder cape mantle that probably goes back down to his waist. It doesn't cover him from head to toe, but it's around his neck and kind of like drapes off. He stands there with his hands on his hips, And he smiles widely at the two of you and he says, "Ah, I believe you two lads paid for an audience with me."
Shed will smile back as broadly as he does, bow to him, and say, "Yes, you must be the fellow I've been looking for.
I
I know
believe you are the fellow that I am looking for.
and I would have spied you so much earlier if the young fellow I sent off to find you told me of such a wonderful hat you have, sir."
Do you not like my hat? My hat is magnificent, is
It
more
is.
magnificent than the Empress of Ra. And that says something because two of her bastard children belong to me.
Such prowess. You must be a legend, sir. I must have your name.
I cannot give you my name in public because my name is too sacred in the underworld. You may refer to me as the Acquirer for now,
Well,
friend. And this guy bows. This is the king of swashbucklers. I swear to God. He takes his hat off and he bends over. He barely swishes this peacock feather. It down. It's almost like, don't drag it on the floor, but he doesn't. It's just the technique of the swish kind of keeps the feather off the floor. He bows and he replaces it on his head. And he has like this scalp lock up there that's like one long dread
okay.
that you kind of assume it's probably his hair is like that for martial advantage.
Okay. Then Shed will say, "Well, friend acquirer, let us hasten to not the public so that we may share such sacred words."
I will lead you. We have an appointment, and the helper does not like to be kept waiting.
As he should not. And I have such a thing to grace him with.
I hope so.
So
Step lightly, friends. Come along. And
Shed is going to step and he's going to use his staff almost like a swagger stick as he walks with this fellow.
Oh yeah, this guy has this thing about him that makes you feel important. And when he walks, the Acquirer, when he walks down the street, people get out of his way. Like, okay, if you're walking a scary dog down a sidewalk and you know people coming down the sidewalk about 100 yards ahead of you and they cross the fucking street.
Yes.
Same thing. This guy, and he swaggers around like he owns this place. Well, I mean, hey, he apparently, according to him, he's knocked up one of the Empress of Ra twice. This guy is the cock of the walk and then some.
Yeah, well, Shed is going to act as if he is, as if this is something normal for him. But he'll also, put that little step in his walk. So obviously he'll stay a couple of steps behind this fellow because not directly behind, but off to the side, so he's obviously visible and giving him place of prominence, of course.
I am told by my associates that you are Shed Carew, but I do not know the half-breed standing behind you. I apologize, good sir. I am also a half-caste. If you couldn't tell by my ears, my beard, it's scraggly, and my freckles.
Yarrow will look at the man. Keep in mind he has both his spears kind of just holding on to him as they walk. He's also going to be probably a good half dozen steps behind Shed, offset the other way. So they're kind of like forming like a zigzag here.
I know you're not a slave because you don't wear manacles, but who are you, free man?
Yarrow.
Oh,
Yarrow
okay.
Vazlu.
All right. Your associate, Shed Carew, I have introduced myself. I am the Acquirer, and you may consider me a friend for now.
I hope to consider you a friend for as long as we are in this city, my friend Acquirer.
I hope so too. I truly do hope so. And of course, this swashbuckler goes on, and he leads you down the street that has all the brothels on it, because of course he does. And oh my God, these women, these women, they're he walks by, there's a smile on everyone's face, but when he walks past a particular brothel, a cascade of female protestation follows him everywhere. He gets silks thrown at him. He gets a veil, a jeweled veil that has small rubies sewn into into the hem there, thrown at him. He takes you down a left, a right, two more lefts, and then one right, down almost an impossibly narrow, like an alleyway. To call it an alleyway, it's like 2.5 foot wide. That's not an alleyway. They just built very close to each other buildings. And he says, think thin, gentlemen. We decided to take this hideout because the harbor master himself could not fit through this gap. Ha 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 ha. And he skips his way through there.
Just laugh with him, and if I have to turn sideways, I turn sideways.
And he says, "Do you see?" He's halfway through that. You see, and he makes like the motion of a really big belly with his hand, and he like gets himself. He's cracking a fucking joke, and this guy is hilarious. And but his hand gets stuck on the wall, and he unbuttons like the top button of his trousers to like get through. And he's skinny. He doesn't need to. He's just being over dramatic. And he's actually going to roll for his arts test. And the miming here is the miming and the burlesquing of this is fantastic with a 28.
Ooh,
and
nice.
He inevitably gets himself through, and he'll actually cartwheel his way out through the other end, and you find yourselves in like a somewhat of a small courtyard that has a well and a cellar door, like a wine cellar door.
I will kneel down at the point where he was squeezing through, air quotes. And I'll say, "Oh, sir, poor harbor master, you dropped the 40 gold pieces you charged those cat-eyed merchants."
Oh, then don't let the commoners find those things. I won't be able to have my snack this evening.
Yes, and these gold coins are so much larger than the locals.
Minted foreigners' coins are so wealthy. They're so heavy. Oh,
They are. Oh no, my arm is falling. Well, ham it up.
Oh yeah, you guys are being absolute jackasses to this guy who's not even there.
Well, I'm also imparting information to him too while I'm doing so.
Oh yeah, no, this is how we have. This is proper thieves' cant, is what this is.
Yes, it is.
And
Silk would be proud.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Silk would all be so proud. And he goes, "All right, gentlemen, we must be secretive here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be messing now. Don't be messing.
Not.
We're very serious businessmen here.
Very.
Very."
I'll straighten my robes.
He
strike a pose.
You look magnificent. He opens the cellar door, and which reveals a double door like the portcullis of a castle that is reinforced with bronze studs and bands. You would need a siege weapon to get through this thing, but it's on a basement door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, to describe it better, it's a cellar door that opens up like so. Oh, it's at an angle. It opens up. There's a stairway that goes down, and those are the doors that you're standing there in front of.
He'll look appreciatively and nod.
he looks at the he looks at the door, and with his jeweled, I'm going to call it the heraldry dagger, with the pommel of it, he knocks 3 times on a specific stud in the door, and an eye slot opens up slightly. And you hear a male voice. It say password. And so the acquirer says, in the days of the immortal Pashoon, when the dragons snored and the fairies sang. That's you should assume that's the part of the verse, the couplet there. the man behind excuse me, the man behind the door, it says, the elements and the spirits of the elements sang in harmony with, and the acquirer turns to look at the 2 of you, and he just stands there and looks at you. And you kind of, it's almost like, are we having a moment here, dude? Or are you asking us to finish the password? You don't know. It's just quiet.
Ed will slowly start smiling.
And the acquirer says, all of the gods above and below slept and dreamt peacefully. And there are 3 taps on the other side of the door, and the door opens. Really, really elaborate password work here. And there are 20 armed guards down there with drawn swords, axes, hammers, and such like. And they're just all like looking at the 3 of you really expectantly.
I grin at them and bow. Good day, fellows. I feel safer already. Look at Yarrow.
Yarrow will just come in behind Shed.
Mhm.
He'll give a bow of the head. He won't actually bow though.
Yeah. I'm gonna Shed does it a lot.
The acquirer leads you into this open room. It's kind of like this nondescript open room that's got 4. It's just like a 20 by 20 square room. It's probably the refitted cellar of just the building up above. There's no access to the building above. It's reinforced stone. There are benches along the 2 opposite sides. And out of the pillars, there's like posts, like hooks, hangers that you can like hang things on. There's like various people's personal effects, like weapons. There's an over mantle there, a rain cloak of some kind, several wine skins, and up against the left-hand wall, there are a few cots. This looks like a general guards like trap room. Like if anyone was to get in, they got to go through these guys first, and these guys are armed to the teeth like Navy SEALs. And the other door across the way is equally reinforced. This one does not require a password, but before you leave this room, you would assume that the captain of this room or the gatekeeper of this room disarms you. He asks you to leave your weapons in one of the racks, and he points it off to the right-hand side of the room, next to one of the benches, and he says that rack is for guests. We do not allow weapons of any kind past this point.
Okay.
And the acquirer just kind of looks at the two of you with this "please don't balk" look on his face.
Well, Shed with the flourish will withdraw his dagger sheath and all, and he'll place it there on the rack. And he'll look and he'll sort of take a deep breath and sigh, and he'll lean his staff against the wall as well. He says, "I do hope I don't trip in the way."
You won't trip.
Hmm.
The tile is taken care of here, and the
Ah.
floor is clean.
My poor knee and hip, though. Years ago, I fell off a ship, and they haven't been the same since.
Well, that is a horrible thing. That is a horrible thing to fall.
Okay.
I'm assuming Yarrow is relieved of his 2 spears, or at least the spear and the javelin, perhaps.
Well, no, it's just 2 spears. He doesn't have a javelin.
Okay,
It's
2 spears.
just 2 obsidian spears. No,
Okay.
he'll with the small twirl, he'll put them in the holders, as well as he will look for a suitable spot to put the fruit knife.
There's a peg that you can hang it on.
I forgot about that. And Shed will reach under his robes and pull his fruit knife out and hang it up as well.
A couple of these guards in this room are gonna like cock an eyebrow. You're like, really? You forgot, huh?
I did not think of it as a weapon, only a tool. I apologize if I offended.
It has an edge. It can cut a throat.
Okay. Oh, that is true. He'll put the mango down.
The guards wave you through into the next chamber, which seems a little bit more functional, as it looks like a storeroom of some kind, like a proper wine cellar here. And along one side, you can actually smell the wine from here. There's quite a bit of alcohol in here, and there's some pretty good stuff. You do smell the faint stink of opium here, and what the acquirer brings you on through here, and he says, "I thank you for not causing any trouble with these guards. They are paid to be cautious, and as you know, times are interesting." And,
oh, yes. Very interesting.
And things I predict are going to be changing very soon.
Maybe sooner than one thinks.
Oh, we can only hope, is his sing-song answer, as is this lordly swashbuckler.
As he says that, Yarrow would make the comment of, well, it's better than being with the cannibals, at least.
Oh, you are a recent guest of the cannibals. Well, we apologize. They're overly hungry these days, and we had associates that were sent to acquire information about some issue with the cannibals. You guys are walking and talking through this maze of underground cellars that have been walked through. It's very Arabian Nights, underworld city, torches, gates, and underground opium dens. You kind of get the feeling that you're beneath a brothel for a few moments, because some of those girls are having a good time, or some of the guys are having a good time. My God. And you finally come to the end doorway, which looks like more of an office section, and this is probably the most heavily adorned door and reinforced that you've seen. But Shed Karu, there's some sorcery in this door. Your sight brings that to your sense, that it's got a sort of a mauve aura to it.
That's what's her acknowledge?
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's a 15.
It's some sort of sorcery that perhaps protective. Maybe there's a spirit nearby, or maybe there's a sorcery in and of the door that itself is anchored upon. We don't quite know. But at this point, we'll call for soliloquies and close the session. Shed Karu, would you take us away, please?
So as Shed stands before this door, his eyes are reflecting that eldritch light of mauve upon the door. He, for a moment, raises his hand up as if to touch it, but doesn't. Feeling the edge of the aura, and he's like, "This man has an enchanter of some type," which would make sense, of course. He's thinking to himself that he is finally here, about to have a audience with the helper, a man he has tried to get in touch with before, and has thus far been rebuffed, possibly because he wasn't enough. And he thinks to himself, 4 copper was enough to bribe the young man, but him sending the acquirer himself to bring him was not what he actually expected. He expected a few more steps before he got to that point. So he's wondering if the helper knows something he doesn't, or more likely knows something he also knows. Shed, though he's been putting on a strong face, he is a bit worried by that the way that taskmaster told him, you have 3 days, put your stuff on, put your affairs in order. He thinks to himself, yes, they're going to take over the town, and he said they were going to burn it to the ground. He wonders to himself, what caused them to that much umbrage? What else has the harbor master done, or others in the town done, to these people to bring such an ire upon them? And he is definitely eager to speak with the helper now, not so much to maybe get a ship out of here, unless he happens to be on it. And it's due for Yarrow as well. Yarrow has proven himself to be a very strong worker, and a bit of a good distraction too from time to time.
Take us away, Yarrow.
Yarrow, one, he's eaten. Yes, he is properly clothed. He is actually feeling a little bit of exhaustion and muscle pain from that hard day's work. Considering, I said before, he was stuck with the cannibals for who knows how long, and was basically, left to emancipate and atrophy and everything else. Also, he has no idea what the hell Shed has been up to. So this acquirer guy, who the fuck's the helper guy? He's at a complete loss. He assumes it's something to do with Shed's profession, so to speak. And he's kind of putting his life into the hands of a man he barely knows. But on the other side, Shed did come back with food and clothes as promised. And after the conversation of information sharing over these strange foreigners, he's kind of gonna go with the flow almost, and just hope he doesn't get caught up in the wrong side of things. As Shed and this acquirer guy were doing their flippant performing and tomfoolery, in the back of his head, he's just thinking, what the hell am I getting myself into? Because while Varro is not without a sense of humor, he's never really had one for the over-the-top chicanery that this guy likes to be about. So like on the inside, he was almost kind of like cringing a little bit, like, oh God, do I really have to watch this while I walk behind this man? He also attempted to count the hallways and turns they took, but rapidly lost count of that. So he only hopes that things don't go sour and they have to either fight their way out or starve down here. So Yarrow is going in this with a somewhat open mind, and I don't want to say optimistic, but kind of mindset.
And with that, we will close the session on our two rogues as they're about to meet the helper. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Be safe, everybody.
Be safe.